Gear Patrol calls their new dive watch the best sub-$500 dive watch. Full stop. Men's Health rated them as the most stylish solar watch in the game. Who are we talking about? It's Movement. They're leveling up your gift giving with the sleekest watches you can buy and the biggest deals of the season. From their innovative ceramic materials to sexy automatic divers, from ultra-thin dress watches to solar-powered statement pieces, and everything in between, Movement is making sure you're the good gifter this year for your family, your friends, or for yourself. And now you can take advantage of 30 to 50% off Movement's California clean watches, jewelry, and accessories to get them a gift they'll never forget. With fast, free shipping and returns and amazing bang for your buck, Movement makes for a relaxed shopping experience. And with one-size-fits-all watches, it's an easy, elegant gifting experience too. Shop 30 to 50% off now at mvmt.com. That's mvmt.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Potted Together podcast. I'm Nicole, and I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts, Adam and Becky. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello. It's been a while since I've heard that little jingle.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
It's gonna be weird because for the audience, last week you heard our first episode, but this week you're hearing the second one. But the time between those two, it's been
Weeks.
a month.
Yeah, a month.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because
we took some time off.
Yeah, we did. And the last time we recorded, we were all together. So this is like our first FaceTime in a month.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Back in the closet for me, literally.
Oh my gosh. And I have found that recording in my living room sounds basically the same as recording in my closet. So I'm going to do this instead.
You're like, why not just be comfortable on my couch?
Cozy.
Yeah. And also, fungus gnats they've taken over my house.
Oh no. Are you
again? They're still here. I'm literally about to throw out my collection or just be like, I can't.
No,
I cannot.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I just had like 2 on me. Like, why? For what?
So I need to send you a little hydrogen peroxide gift, is what you're saying?
Well, I have a bunch. I've done the hydrogen peroxide thing twice,
I think it's time for nematodes. I really do.
I think so too.
Honestly, it killed them very quickly.
Throw those bad boys in that Mills bow and you're gonna see a difference, I'm sure.
So explain to me how nematodes work. So just sprinkle them
soil, right?
Yeah, so they send you a package that you need to keep refrigerated until you're ready to use them. But it was almost like a powdery type substance. But so you add it to like water, and there's like so much per gallon of water. So basically, you need to water all your plants thoroughly first. And then you mix up the nematodes, and then you just put a little bit in each pot. And it's a parasitic worm that will infiltrate the larva and eat them from the inside out.
Gotcha.
They go up their buttholes.
Straws.
They go up their butts.
Yeah. It's
the
so
gnats
weird.
Or the larva?
The parasitic nematodes will go through any orifice they can find first. But yeah, so it's mouth or booty. But they work so fast. I'm not even kidding.
Find a hole, gotta fill it.
But yeah, and a lot of people are like, that I still get comments on that video because that was one of my first videos where I did about nematodes, and people are just like, but will they hurt humans? Won't they start crawling out of the pot? And they're like so microscopic that you wouldn't see them, and no, they can't exist. Like if your pot fully dries through, the nematodes are gonna die. So
okay, I was getting beneficial nematodes. Wait, is that what it's called? Beneficial nematodes? Yeah. Confused with like beneficial insects like lacewings or ladybugs. Although I think it'd be pretty cool if you release some ladybugs in that Mills bow. Like not even joke. Or even in like your sunroom.
Or
why not?
a praying mantis. Like, wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and it just lives in there.
Yeah.
You could give them a name. Like, why
You
not?
know what? I think I might have shared this before, but I have raised a grasshopper from a very, very small grasshopper to an adult grasshopper.
Okay,
I have done that
never
before.
Heard this.
Wait, I haven't shared that with you guys. Didn't know that?
No.
No. This is a new Becca
Who are
fact.
you, Pinocchio?
Okay, it's kind of weird because I feel like they would die in captivity, right? They don't. Okay, so I found like a little green. Well, because I really wanted like a pet, right? Like my parents said no rodents. I think they also said no fish. I don't remember. But I would always try to catch bugs and raise them. So for a while I was catching roly-polies. And I would keep them in a shoebox under my bed, like by the 100. Okay. And they would die within like a day. And then my parents would just find boxes of dead bugs under my bed.
Oh my god.
I'm sure they thought I was going to be a serial killer.
Well, you weren't decapitating cats or anything, so
Yeah.
it was just bugs.
Yikes. So yeah, then I moved on. I did a grasshopper. I caught it when it was like this tiny little green bug, little, in its like fresh state. I thought it was really cute. And I had a little, I don't know, like insect box for it. And I gave it water in a little bottle cap. I fed it lettuce. I watched it like shed its skin. And also, one time it got out. Like, it got out several times, actually, and I didn't know where it was. It was just in my room, and I ended up finding it and blah, blah, blah. And then I released it when it got to be, like, I don't know, like, full adult, like, dark grasshopper.
You were a bug mama.
What was their name?
I don't remember. Oh. Maybe I'll ask my mom and see if she even remembers that I did that. I don't know if I even named it. Maybe like Fred or something stupid like that. Like, I don't know.
Cute.
The name Fred is not, but, something that a little kid, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, my first hamster I named George, and then I found out it was a girl, so I changed the name to Georgetta.
Oh, gosh.
Georgetta.
That's funny that you say that because
Classic.
when I was younger, we always had pets. So we had cats and a dog, and we always named our pets before we found out like the gender, the sex. So I was like, my cat's name was Heidi, and he was a boy, and then Dylan was a girl. But I feel like that's like a unisex name. Well, all names are unisex, I feel like, really, but
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny. So like it was this constant thing of having to explain why our boy cat had a girl name. I'm doing air quotes because but yeah. That's so funny.
That's so funny. That's funny that you named them before you got them. Like, was that like something your parents were like, we're gonna do this, or you guys just couldn't wait?
Well, because our pets, we always found our pets. Like it was either like a friend of a friend of a friend had a litter and we just took one, but they were still so little. When we took them, we scheduled a day to have them like have an appointment at the vet. And we just didn't know what their sex was until that appointment, but we named them because we're not just going to be like, here, kitty, kitty. We got to give them a name. So.
Okay. And with cats, like, you can't tell.
No.
That's so funny. That is so funny to me that you can't tell with cats. I mean,
I know.
If they're not fixed and they're older, you can tell, I guess. I've seen some, like, feral cats, and I'm like, that's a boy. He's a boy.
Yes.
It's a boy.
No doubt about that one.
If you are planning on, like, releasing ladybugs or anything, just make sure you take your sticky traps out, because...
Oh, yeah, they like that.
My sister made that mistake with her greenhouse. She put a bunch of ladybugs in there, but forgot to take the sticky traps out, and it was just like a ladybug massacre.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. That is really sad.
Lesson learned.
I know. You know what else is sad? Stealing a baby grasshopper from its parents and keeping it in a cage. No, I'm just kidding.
It probably lived a terrible life. Like, I'm definitely romanticizing it, but my parents, like, obviously care about animals, and they said it was fine. So I was like, okay, like.
No, you were treating that like a king. I was just giving you crap.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, he grew, and you know what? It grossed me out so much that he ate his skin after he shed it. You know, that really like did it for me. Like, I thought he was really cute until I saw him doing that one day, and I was like, I can't.
Hey, you guys don't eat scabs?
Oh.
I don't either.
Becca's like, are we really going to go there? This fresh in a season?
Okay, I wouldn't like, not in a mean way, but like if you did that, I wouldn't be like mega shocked. But it would also, I mean, I would, but it wouldn't be like the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'm pretty sure I've eaten scabs as a kid. Not in my adult life that I can remember, but I'm fairly certain. Like, you know, because like you like pick at it, or like if it's on your hand, like you're biting at, or like I'm not gonna like bring my knee up to my mouth and like start chewing on a knee scab. You know, but like if it's accessible, you're just kind of like, okay.
I mean,
like,
I've definitely like bitten a hangnail and like didn't spit it out. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
I'll be honest with that one. Like, I've chewed on it.
Oh god.
And if you haven't, you're probably lying.
Yeah,
That's
have.
right.
You're all
That's
a bunch
really
of
funny.
liars.
All a bunch of liars. So what have you guys been doing like the last couple of months, really, since they've seen us? It's been a couple months. So like, what have you guys been up to?
Yeah, we have a significant catch up to do here. That first 10 minutes wasn't a catch up, guys. Okay?
Yeah, that was the pre-catch up. That was the pre-game.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the highlight of my summer so far has definitely been our Missouri trip, for sure. I think about it all the time. Like, I'm constantly scrolling through pictures. I don't know. I'm just that person. And, like, we have so many pictures now together. I'm so excited. But, yeah, I think that was definitely the highlight for me. But after we got back, we really started focusing on our kitchen in the new house. So we finally have, like, the kitchen's going to get started in, like, a week and a half. I'm a little anxious about it because I'm wondering if anybody's like remodeled a kitchen while living in their house. I mean, I'm sure people have, but completely gutted a kitchen while living there. Like, what are we like? We're going to be ordering out and like using the microwave. Like, it's going to be just one heck of a good unhealthy 2 months, you know, like because we can't cook. But then I had this realization that I have an induction cooktop that I got from a very good friend of mine for my kitchen channel, for my cooking channel. And I'm like, wait, we can cook. We could cook stovetop. So there's that.
Yes.
Yeah. That is serving more than one purpose, Adam. So thank you for sending that great Christmas gift to me last year.
Anything to force you to get this cooking channel off the ground.
Oh,
I can't
man.
wait. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. I'm excited. I think I'll start it shortly after the kitchen's finished and like start with just like a kitchen tour and then just figure out how I'm going to do it because we won't have an island. So like setting up cameras may just be a challenge at first, but yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I feel like you just, not that I'm going to dictate what you do, but I feel like if you went to IKEA and got one of those like rolling kitchen carts and that could be like your island, you know?
Yep. I thought about that. I definitely thought, because I mean, our kitchen's big enough to easily push that somewhere else, like when not in use.
And put some
yeah,
plants
I've
on it.
definitely thought about that.
Plants.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh my gosh, guys. This whole time I didn't have my AirPods in.
Oh, what a noob move. It's okay. I think I can cut it out.
Asshole. Sorry. Okay, we're good.
I've done it before and he figured it out.
Yeah, it's so hard though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Okay, so you talked about the highlight of your summer, but what have you been up to since the trip? Because you just like had a whole life adjustment since we last saw each other, you know?
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Well, it's more so like I have never unpacked this slow in like any move. Like we figured we moved 6 times in the past 10 years or so since we've been together. And I've just been slow because things aren't finished. So like all my kitchen stuff is still in boxes. And it's just been like this super slow process. But not only that, like I've been working nonstop.
A lot.
Yeah. It's been, and the weather's been really crappy. So like most of my sessions happen outside, like in forest preserves and like, whatever on location. And it's rarely indoors. So with the weather being crappy, I've just kind of been pushing all these engagement sessions and family sessions out. And like my schedule's piling up to where I'm like 2 sessions a day. And then I have 3 weddings a weekend. And then I'm editing when I'm not shooting. It's been so, like I knew 2021 was going to be a little crazy. I didn't expect it to be this crazy, and this is definitely not me complaining. I'm very happy that we're back to work. I would rather be nonstop busy than not at all, for sure. But that's just kind of like probably the reason I've been silent and like quiet, because it's been a little crazy,
Well, I was going to say that explains like why you're feeling, we were just talking before we started recording about how we're like in a YouTube rut sometimes, like that would explain what's going on, Nicole. You didn't mention all of this. Like,
yeah, for
that
sure.
completely explains like why you've been maybe feeling less motivated to do stuff for YouTube, because you've been doing so much for your career.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, some days when I have like canceled sessions, I'm like, okay, now I have a free day. So like, I guess my rut is like when that happens. I'm like, okay, now I have some free time. Like I got the stuff I needed to edit done, and I can record a video, but I don't want to. I just want to like sit here and do nothing, Or like there's other things to unpack, or like getting our space finished. And then Jay's been kind of just like in the studio trying to get his stuff off the ground too. So it's just it's a busy time, and I guess it's not like the best time to be super, super busy when you move. It's never, I feel like it's never a good time to move. Something's always going to come up. But it's just been really crazy. Like I think about 2020 and I'm like, oh man, that would have been a great time to move, because none of us were doing anything,
Yeah.
But then not necessarily, because we needed a lot of work done, and like contractors were pushed out. No one was working.
Yeah.
So yeah. But that's pretty much it. It's been a little boring.
Hectically boring.
Yeah.
Hectically boring, yeah.
Super hectic. Wow. Well, okay, Adam, what about you?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I don't think I told you guys this, but when I was leaving on the plane ride back, I had this like sweetest little like interaction / 3-hour well, not really 3-hour conversation with this little old lady next to me. Older lady, I shouldn't say. And I'm drawn to older people. Like for my job for a few years, I was like a travel coordinator with a senior citizen travel group, and it was like it brought me so much joy, because I have never really had that kind of figure in my life, a grandparent figure. And so I don't know, but when I was leaving Illinois, I was in like just really like bad headspace for multiple things, some of which were flying. I don't love doing it, especially alone. And like I was just like leaving the town that I had moved from, that had a lot of memories from like a different time in my life. And that was like hard to process too. So I get on the plane and I see a window seat next to this lady, and I was like, is anyone sitting there? And she goes, no, it's all for you. And I sat down, and she had her book next to me in the seat, and she goes, I'm going to keep this here and hoping that people will just pass by and not want to sit in the middle seat between us. And I was like, okay, you're my person. Like, yes. But then on the airplane, I was like, I don't usually like making small talk, so I put my headphones in. I was editing a video, no big deal. And then my computer died, so I had to like shut that off. And she had asked me when I first got on a plane, she's like, so you're young and cute. Can you tell me how to put my phone on airplane mode? And I was like, yeah, you just do this. So we put her phone on airplane mode. And then when I took my headphones off, we kind of just made a bunch of small talk. But towards the end of our conversation, she looked at me and she goes, I have a question I want to ask you. She's like, you're about the same age as my son, and so I think you'll have good input. And she was like, if your mom had a tumor on her pancreas and pancreatic cancer runs in her family, would you want to know before she had it checked to see if it was cancerous or not, or would you rather find out afterwards? And I just looked at her and I was like, is it you? Like, do you have the tumor on your pancreas? And she's like, yes. And I was like, you need to tell your son now. Like, I said, my mom will do things like that where she'll wait until after she goes to a doctor. And it really bothers me because I'm like, why didn't you tell me? And the response is always, I just didn't want you to worry. And this is what the lady said to me. I said, can you tell me why you don't want to tell him? And she's like, I just don't want to worry him. And I was like, I told her, I was like, when people worry about you, that means that they care. And you're carrying this burden of this anxiety that you're feeling because she doesn't know what is happening. Like, she doesn't know if it's cancer or not. I was like, you're carrying this burden by yourself when you could carry it and your son could help you carry it.
Right.
And then I was like, so then like right before we landed, I was like, let me ask you this. If your son had a tumor and he didn't tell you until after he went to the doctor and the whole thing was over, how would you feel? And she looked at me and she goes, I'd be pissed. And I was like, I think you have your answer.
Yeah. Well, such good advice.
But have you guys had those experiences where like some random stranger comes into your life for like a few hours and it's just so impactful? But like I feel like an ass, but I don't remember her name. And I wish I would have got her phone number. She lives in Scottsdale. Like,
Wow.
I don't know. I was like, I kind of just want to come hang out with you.
I really don't. I can't pinpoint a memory that I've had like an experience like that. But I will say on our garden tour, when we met that lady that Beckett exchanged numbers with, that was a pretty impactful conversation. Like, we learned a lot about her in a matter of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And she was the sweetest lady, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think you gave really good advice. From a parent's perspective, I understand why she would have that hesitancy, like to not say anything, especially if maybe her son's going through something in his life where he's worrying about other things, or like, you know, whatever his situation is in his life, maybe she feels like she'd be a burden. But like, that is the best piece of advice you can give somebody, because it's so true. When you have someone else carrying that worry with you, it makes it so much less heavy for you. Keeping a secret like that is so like detrimental to your own health, you know?
Yeah. And pancreatic cancer is just it's just not a good one. Not that any of them are a good one to get, but that's just not a good one to get.
Yeah.
But it was a sweet interaction, and then it made the flying, like, it made me less scared flying, because after I was done editing the video, then like her and I chatted for the long time, so much so that like I wanted to try to see if I could see my house as we were landing, because we are in the path of the flight, and like I didn't even look out the window because her and I were in such a deep conversation, and like through even hitting the ground and like getting up to the gate, which is, you know, something I've never really experienced, like, because usually I'm just like staring out the window constantly, like I have to see what's going on. But Steve took pictures of the plane from her backyard. Like, he was like, there you are.
Of course he did.
Watching the flight path.
That's
Yeah.
so
Oh my gosh.
cute.
Oh, but he was a little late to the airport, so I was a little annoyed. Maybe you shouldn't have been taking pictures, and you should have just got your ass to the airport.
Oh, God. Hey, but he picked you up from the airport, didn't he? Pretty sure I Uber all the time.
But yeah, since then, I've been working on like editing some other projects that aren't my YouTube or the podcast, even though I did do a couple of those. But I've been working on some projects that I had promised others, some volunteer work and stuff. So like, I've been crazy editing, but then part of me is like, I just want to edit my own stuff. Like, the Missouri Botanical Garden, which is the next video that I think I'm going to put out. I just like I can't wait for that to be done because it was so freaking beautiful, you know?
Mm-hmm. It really was.
And
it was so incredible.
Our first vlog that I edited, it was just like I was smiling the whole time editing it because I'm just like, oh, this is just, it was fun, you know?
Yeah.
And you guys both make me laugh so much. Like the part when Rebecca just yells, "Hold on!" Like I'll just
in
never
the truck.
Yeah, I'll just never not laugh at that. Like that was just so funny.
Becky Calhoun's gonna give you a nice little ride.
But yeah, so now
my gosh.
we have Disney. I'm leaving for Disney in 2 days, so that's just been taking care of the plants to try to make sure that everyone's situated before I leave for the week.
Yeah, that is so exciting. So, who watches Patches while you're gone?
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
So
Sorry, did I hear the nerve?
No. My heart breaks just thinking about her like being in a boarding facility because she's just like never not been around
or
away from us. But I waited too long, me, the procrastinator, because there is like a cat boarding place in Gilbert that actually has like bigger rooms and it's just solely for cats. Like that's not like pet boarding, it's just for cats.
Okay.
And they didn't have any reservations open. So I boarded her in a place that's pretty far north. That's for all pets or whatever. And she's going to be in like a 2 foot by 3 foot room. And that breaks my heart. They said they let them out for an hour each day in their whole cat area so they can run around.
Yeah.
Individually. So she'll be by herself. And that we could pay like $10 for 15 minutes of extra cuddle time.
Like, why do they monetize that kind of stuff? Like,
yeah, like people are going to do it, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're thinking of it as this tiny space, but obviously, you know this. Like, she's smaller. She's probably going to be totally fine in that room. But is it like just a plain room, or does she have like a little scratching post and like a little bed?
I think there might be like an elevated shelf that she can like jump on, but
cool.
like in that 2 by 3 room is also going to be her food dishes, her cat litter box, and a shelf. So like, I don't know. It just makes me sad because like I don't know what pets think, and since this is the first time we've ever like not been around her for multiple days, like I'm like it breaks my heart thinking that she's gonna be like, well, they left me, but like I've been wearing this shirt for 3 days now, and I'm gonna take this with her so she can just have my scent, which is weird. But
no, that's good because they like that. Yeah, she'll probably snuggle up with it.
Yeah.
I was muted because my dogs were barking, but I just want to say into the microphone, yes, I think that's a good idea.
So yeah, I mean, thankfully like our other trips in the future, I'll make sure I'm planning and we'll get her in the place that's like better. But
yeah, it's still that's still fine. At least she gets that time to.
Yeah.
Do you get to like call them and like check on her? Is there like any video that you can?
Yeah, you can pay $9 extra a day for a internet connected video, so you could just like look at them anytime. Isn't that ridiculous?
$9 a day. See, the whole
I rolled
like
my eyes went to the
thing,
back of my head on that.
Oh my gosh, I feel like you and I feel very. We probably all feel the same on this, but like everything that you're experiencing with this is how I felt like a couple months ago when I was thinking about boarding our dogs. And of course I waited until it was too late and they would have been in a 2 by 3 box, except these are dogs. So it's like, and then they let them out for like, I don't know, like an hour every 5 hours or something. But they're in this little box that's dirt. And I live in Missouri. Like, you have to actively work to not let grass grow in that area. Like, I don't know why that makes me so mad. But, like, they probably have to, like, spray weeds and, like, spray the grass to keep it from growing inside of this little section. I'm like, why isn't there grass for these dogs? Anyway, yeah. It's these little things. And, like, you could pay extra for this and that. And there's, like, sweets. Did you see one that had, like, sweets? Like, the full thing?
Yeah, because the 2 by 3 room was like $24 a day, but I could get like a cattery suite, which was just a lot taller and had multiple levels for $40 a day. And, you know, multiplied by 10 days, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like trying to, I don't know, listen, it's a business. But when you capitalize on people's emotions like that, like obviously it's like, why not make something all inclusive? Like, why can't everybody just have the same amount of space? Why can't you include video? People would pay extra if it was one flat rate. This is what it was. That's what it is.
Yeah,
you know, like I just, it's like, and then like, it makes you feel like a specific plant person, like almost like you don't care, like, oh, there's all these extras, but I can't afford them, so I'm a bad, not plant parent, I meant pet parent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure I said plants. Run the tapes!
Run the tapes! Oh my gosh. No, that's so true, though, because it's like, and then how, as an employee at these places, okay, we're probably going to have somebody who works at a dog kennel and be like, it's not as bad as you think, but this is just for our perception as like the pet owners not having any idea what this industry is like on the inside. So just should say that as well. But like when you are that person who's like going around to all the dogs whose owners like paid extra to get extra cuddles, like you're looking at the dogs who didn't get, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this person didn't pay for it, so I'm not going to touch their dog. I'm like, what? I don't, how can you make that call? Anyway, I have to pee. Hold on. You guys talk among yourselves.
Oh, I have to pee too.
Okay, well, that was our boomer moment
I'm
of
gonna
the
go pee now,
podcast. All of us having to go to the bathroom. Yeah.
I mean, you said it and I just had to pee.
Oh, so I did want to say that with my dog, when I had to board Cuddy, I felt less bad about it because the place I boarded him was also the place that I took him to daycare. I don't know if there's a facility like that there, but during the weekdays, they let him be out with all of the dogs, and dogs are social. Cats, a little less so. But like, I never felt guilty dropping him off there because he always had so much fun. But it was, like I said, never a facility where he was just put in a kennel and stayed there. Like, because during the weekends, yes, I think he was Saturdays and Sundays, but every other day he was out with the rest of the dogs. And every time I brought him home from daycare, that I dropped him off before I went to work and picked him up after work, he literally slept from when I got home through the night into the next day. So like, I know that like during the weekday in the kennel, he was probably just snoozing.
Yeah, that's very true. There was a place that's very similar like that here, but I couldn't get them to that point to where they could roam around. So what they had was the daycare dogs had access to the grass, and the non-daycare dogs had the dirt. And I was like, how could you do this? No, it's just silly things. But yeah, I've considered getting my dog set up with the daycare so they can socialize. Because they're kind of like Cooper's a quarantine puppy, you know? Like, it wasn't planned, but yeah, he was born last July, so he hasn't really met many dogs besides Leo, and he's scared of everything. You know how there's dogs that are like really reactive and like angry, and then there's dogs who are scared of everything? Cooper's scared of everything. And Leo's more reactive, and Cooper like will crouch at my feet, be like, what is that? But
oh, that's cute.
How did they do on the 4th of July?
They did okay. Like, they were barky for sure, because like they had never really heard this before, because in Tucson it wasn't really a thing. Like, well, especially last year, like it wasn't. I think we've had Leo for 2 4th of Julys now, maybe there was, I don't remember. Anyway, Leo was never like affected by it. This year he was a bit more barky because our neighbor was putting off like massive fireworks, which is cool because we could see them for free. But Cooper completely like totally fine. Also during big storms and stuff, they're just like chilling like on their backs, like sleeping. I'm like, okay, cool. This is good. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
So what about you, Becca?
Oh my gosh.
How has your summer been so far?
While you guys were here, I don't know if I talked about this during the pod last season. It happened in May. I don't know if we were still recording at the end of May. But Daniel got like a serious head injury. So basically the summer up until like this week, I've been taking care of him and like making sure he's been eating, making sure he's getting his water, whatever. But he fainted and hit his head, and it was just like really bad. And then in the last week, he's gotten a lot better and finally is like showing signs of normalcy again. Like, I don't know, his mood, just being able to look in the light. He was really light sensitive for a long time. So that was basically my life for the last like 2 months, basically. But
yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because I was literally just thinking that. I was going to stop. I was going to say, wait, stop. Can we talk about Daniel? How is he doing?
Yeah, he's finally doing better, which is such a relief. Yeah, and so like honestly, my summer hasn't been much. Like that's where my focus has been, and just like trying to like continue working when I can, as much as I can without it, you know. So that's basically been the summer. Like it hasn't really been a hot girl summer or anything. It's been like caretaker girl summer. You know, really practicing the in sickness and in health girl summer. So yeah, but my garden has developed so much since you guys left, like since you guys last saw it. My zucchinis are getting so big. I'm like, oh my God, I really should only have planted one of these because it has like 8 flowers on it right now, like just one of them. And it's already taking over half the bed. I'm like, oh my God, this was a big mistake. Oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. But yeah, like things are just growing out there. It took me so long to finish like animal proofing it, but it's finally done being animal proofed. And I put some chicken wire at the bottom to keep out like the small rodent stuff. Put some wire around the top to keep the deer out. And obviously like the whole fence structure is for the deer too. So that was a really big stressor. Yeah, it's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
Oh my gosh, it was a beautiful garden. You know, maybe this is why growing up we always had zucchini brownies and zucchini bread and zucchini frickin' everything, because they're just like producing the most.
Yeah. I just posted in my stories earlier today about our garden bed. Whatever these people that lived here before us had in there has literally taken over everything. Like we planted a tomato plant, we planted a couple pepper plants, we planted some like rosemary. It's all covered by whatever the heck is in this bed. And we still don't know what it is because there's no flowers on it yet. I'm going to guess it's like some type of a squash or cucumber. I don't know. But it's just,
oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like these plants, it probably is a zucchini. Like it's just so crazy to see like the contrast between indoor plants and outdoor plants, and especially like outdoor plants and then you have vegetables, because outdoor plants produce leaves maybe like more often than indoor plants, but it's not like that much more often, you know what I mean? Like it'll put out a new set of leaves like maybe like once a week or so. I don't know. From what I've noticed, like they grow, but it's not like massively fast. And then you get vegetables. They go from 0 to 100 in like 30 days, a lot of them.
Yeah, it'd be cool to like look up some
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And with it raining so much, like it rained for like 10 days and it was really humid and hot while it was raining. If it wasn't raining, it was like super cloudy, but everything like doubled in size during that time. So like I was afraid they wouldn't be getting enough light. Clearly that's not an issue. Like it was just crazy. So it's interesting to like learn about their life cycles and like what these like vegetables do, because it's just like a whole other thing. And I find it like so freaky that they can like produce a leaf like it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's like fast fashion. It just happens so fast. I'm like, what? Yeah.
That's true. Fast food, fast fashion. It is kind of crazy because, you know, we sit here with our houseplants and we'll watch our, you know, monstera, our Thai constellation put out this leaf, and it takes months, and it's just like, is it coming? Is it coming? And then our vegetable garden comes and goes in a couple of months. You know?
It's crazy. So yeah, that's basically been my headspace, and I don't have anything else to share besides that, honestly.
Well, I have some things to ask about.
Oh
like
my
the copperhead
gosh.
snake that was on your property.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
let's
First
talk
of
about
all,
that.
like where was that located?
Because Adam wants to know if he crossed paths with it without
'Cause
knowing at
we
some
were
point.
just like gallivanting all
Yeah.
over your property like it was no big deal, and then I get home and you post like,
Yeah.
oh look, there's a snake in my yard, and I was like, oh my god, that's a
Yeah.
copperhead.
Well,
And that's like
okay, so
terrifies me.
I was mowing, as I do now. I mow the lawn because I'm a Becky Calhoun. And yeah, I was in the back, like
Yeah.
close to the trail by the Poo Lagoon. Like not out in the field, but like, you know, that like breezeway between like my
Okay.
fenced yard and the Poo Lagoon where there's like that little wood bridge. I was close to there. And like
Yeah.
that part of the property I hadn't really mowed very much because I was kind of nervous to take it back there because I would need to have a lot of like I would need to turn around quickly and whatever. I was just not super comfortable with the mower.
Yeah.
So the grass was getting kind of tall over there, and I decided one day I was just going to do it. So I went back there to do it, and I saw it actually leave from my yard. It snaked through the fence and out back towards like the woods again. And oh, just killed a fungus gnat. Sorry. Club and slide. Even
Clap and
better when they
slide.
land on your arm because you can literally just like cup your arm and slide. Anyway.
Or, you know, my shirt.
That works too. Did you ever get the fungus gnat guts out of that shirt? Is it okay now? Okay, good.
See?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
So
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
anyway,
Sorry
it just like slithered out from underneath the fence from my like backyard area and across, and I like stopped because I almost ran it over, and the blades were going. So like I probably would have been. Yeah, I know. But like I've
Adam's
seen
like,
snakes
"So?"
a few
And?
times when I was doing stuff outside, but they were like garden snakes, like nothing bad. But that was a big one, and I felt like it was a bad snake, but at the same time I didn't want to get anywhere near it. So even though I'm on a massive lawnmower. Anyway, I just took a photo of it for reference and
Yeah.
then left. But it did go back into the woods, into a part that like I do not go in, especially right now. I can't even walk back there. So I feel like it wouldn't have been in a place where we were, you know, because they'll hang out in like the tall, brushy areas. And like
Okay.
I would never walk through that right now because like I couldn't. So
Yeah.
You mean where we had a photo shoot?
oh.
And we were all
See
sitting on the
that?
lawn
Okay, after I
over
saw the
there?
snake, I was like, actually,
No.
that was a pretty big like snake thing. Like, I'm sure snakes live in that tall grass out there. I'm sure they do. And we were just like laying in it with our hair on the ground,
sure.
like, oh, cute.
Oh, yeah.
We were hesitating though. Tickville. Yeah.
Tickville.
Oh. Yeah, so not to plug my channel, but if you're wondering about the Poo Lagoon and all of that, like we all did vlogs of our trip, but I think in mine we talked about the Poo Lagoon, which is really funny, and Nicole got her first
Get your
tick,
fucking
which is also
footage.
really funny.
Yeah. It was.
But get the fuck oh, she was so mad. But yeah, how's the
Okay,
peach
I
tree?
currently
Do you
see
got more
3
fruit
peaches
on it?
on it,
Oh,
but I might
yeah.
lose them to bugs. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna lose them to bugs, but like, okay, I know now that I have a mature peach tree that fruits, like big fruit, it doesn't seem like particularly healthy because it's not putting out a lot of fruit, and for a tree that size, like it should be putting out more. So what we're gonna do, maybe in like a couple weeks or maybe in the fall, we're going to clear out all the trees over there besides the peach tree, because we were actually going to clear all those trees because they're growing into the barn and we'd want the barn to be structurally sound. So like, unfortunately, in my Arizona mind, I'm like, why would you ever cut down a tree? It makes no sense. But here the trees literally grow like weeds. Like we have like baby walnut trees everywhere and like baby maple trees everywhere. Like it's gonna be fine. They will regrow. That's been a hard thing to get through my head.
Yeah.
But no, so we're gonna take out all the trees besides that one and see if that lets it get a little more nutrients, possibly more light, because it's definitely being choked out. Like it's not a tall, like peach trees like they don't get very tall, you know. So it's definitely getting choked out. So, but I think there's 3 fruit on it right now. They're not ripe yet. I keep checking on them like every week to make sure that they haven't been eaten. They haven't been eaten, but I saw like a sticky sap on one of them. Like, I don't know what it is. And that doesn't look right, you know? Yeah, my grandparents...
Yeah.
Maybe I could like spray with like a natural insecticide or something to keep bugs off of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to eat them.
I'm trying to think. I don't think 7 is natural, is it? Because that's what I sprayed on my apple tree in Illinois, because the Japanese beetles would just like attack it.
Okay. I don't think so, because it was a toss-up between getting Bonide 8, and then 7. And I went with
Bonide
8. Is that how you say it? Okay.
That's what I use for spider mites.
Yeah, 8. And neither one of them... because I was worried about it being safe, like, for pets, because my dogs go back there, like, and if they brush up against it, and neither one of them were. So I've just been like keeping an eye on them and making sure that they don't go over there. So I don't know if it's like natural, but yeah, I don't know a lot about.
Yeah, I don't either. I need to figure it out though, because there are some things eating my vegetables, like not like a lot yet, but I do notice like chunks, bites out of the leaves. So I need to go out there and look. And see what's eating it and like possibly spray it with something. I want to keep it as natural as possible. But at the same time, I don't know. Yeah. I'd like to have a harvest after I've done all this freaking work.
Maybe reach out to Pam's Pretty Plants on YouTube. Because she knows a lot about gardening. Like, her garden is so beautiful.
Oh, sorry.
She could probably give you some input.
Yeah, she is super knowledgeable. Her garden is beautiful. Like, honestly, she's been posting YouTube videos about it for a while, and I just never appreciated it because I'd lived in an apartment and it didn't really, like, feel super relevant to me. But, like, obviously paying more attention to it now, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
So, that was a great catch-up, friends. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. But let's get into today's episode, 50 minutes in.
Woo.
I don't think it's going to be that long of a chat, more so just like what we use. But we're going to be talking about our favorite plant accessories today, which is fun because I feel like we definitely all use different things. And I like listening to stuff like this or like watching YouTube videos on people's favorite things because I definitely always walk away with something. That I'm like, I have to get that, So let's start. Do we want to each share our like top faves, or do we want to go back and forth?
We can go back and forth. That'll give time to consider.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, I'll start. My number one favorite plant accessory as of lately has to be my soil scoop. And I saw you using a soil scoop, Becca, in a video a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was probably when you got that repotting mat, I want to say you were using it. Okay. And I was like, okay, I have to get one of those. And I ordered some from Amazon. So just like over the past year-ish, I use it. And it's like, it sounds like something that you wouldn't necessarily need. And you probably don't. You can probably just use a cup and scoop out your soil with a cup. But this scoop is so, like, directional and easy. Like, I didn't know I needed it until I had it. And then I was like, why was I struggling with this the whole time, getting soil everywhere when I didn't have to? Plus, I really like it for my lava stone, because with my soil plants, I usually use lava stone to top off. And that stuff gets everywhere. And it's just nice to be able to, like, do it in cactus beds and stuff like that. So. Do you use one, Adam?
No, I don't.
Oh, I'm gonna send you one.
I have a spade that I use, like from a garden spade, but it's not very directional,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you one. I have a few, so I'll send you one.
Oh, that's so nice, Nicole.
Scoop.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. I do quite enjoy them. It was one of those things I didn't think that I really needed, and then I got one, and I was like, "Yep, this is it.
Yeah,
this is it."
I think I used like I think I used like a red Solo cup for the longest time. But then like it starts breaking and then you have this like crunched up red Solo cup in your soil bag and you're like, soil's getting everywhere. It's time to upgrade.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of upgrade, one of my favorite items is the plant folio. You guys know the plant folio?
Oh, yes.
It is my favorite thing that I own, I think.
You use it a lot.
I use it all the time. I use it as, okay, so if you're not familiar what it is, plant folio is a like wood frame, grid wire silicone plant repotting system. Station. Okay. Sorry, Eli, if you just heard this and you're cringing. Anyway, it's amazing. Eli's the owner. We talk every once in a while, probably every couple of months we catch up. And it's just such a cool product. He hand makes them from his home. And I don't know, it's just a cool product that you can use for so many different things. So typically what I use it for, and like what I always get like questions about, every time I show it, I get like a ton of questions, but it can be placed over like a standard size sink, and because it's like a metal like grid thing, it's obviously like water can go through it, and then the wood has been sealed so the wood isn't going to warp or get nasty or anything. So basically what I do is I put it over my sink. Sometimes I water my plants in the sink all the time, but sometimes I have dirty dishes in the sink, or I don't want to, like, I don't know, set a pot that's like, sometimes you have really little pots, and when I put them in the sink, they like get crunched or something. You know, if the leaves touch the bottom of the sink and I put a plant on top of it, they'll get crunched. Just these little things that you don't think about as being inconveniences. But anyway, so you just lay it across the top of your sink, and the grid part holds up the plants, and you just set them on top, and then you water. And if you have dirty dishes in the sink, you don't have to remove them. You just freaking water over them.
Yep.
And that's it.
It is such a cool thing.
Yeah. And it's the best. And there's like little silicone mats that you can put inside of it for when it comes to repotting, and you can remove them and like move them around. Anyway, I love it.
Yeah, the silicone part of it, like the first thing I noticed was how easy it was to clean. Because when I have one too, and when I first used it, I was like, oh, like this is it's gonna be hard to kind of clean. And then I'm like, oh no, the silicone pieces lift out, and they're silicone, so it's like rubbery, so you can bend them, and you literally just rinse them off, and it goes right into the trash. Or like you can bring your soil outside, and it not be like you carrying the whole heavy tray there. You're just carrying a silicone mat. It's very inventive. Like, I was quite impressed with the plant.
Yeah.
Hashtag not sponsored. Just
get it.
You need it in your life.
Do you both have discount codes for that, or no?
No.
No.
I believe that I will.
I didn't know if that was a
I
thing.
will have a discount code at some point. So, you know, I can update the show notes when that happens.
I think that we both tried out Plantfolio around the same time, but it was just launching.
Yeah.
So it was like they were still making adjustments to it.
Yeah. Okay. So when I do get a discount code, I'll put it in the show notes for you guys. I think it's 10% off.
Okay, Adam, what about you? What's your
Well, I've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again. But the little spout that I have that goes, a battery operated spout that goes on top of 5-gallon water buckets is probably it's probably not meant for a plant accessory, but it's the number one thing I use all the time because I'm constantly making hydro solutions and such. So I always need to fill up gallon. So I take the 5-gallon water and I fill up gallon buckets and mix my nutrients. But that thing has just been such a lifesaver. Like, I can put a funnel in the bucket, turn it on, walk away for a little bit, come back when it's full, shut it off. The same thing when I used to fill humidifiers, I would do the same thing. I would just put the thing with a funnel, I would turn it on and let it fill up instead of having to sit there. And it's purified water, so you don't have to clean your humidifiers out as often. So I don't know. That thing was like $19 well spent for sure.
Yeah, I saw you using it. I don't know if you put it on Instagram, I think, and that is genius. It's so much easier than like walking your humidifier over to the sink. But plus, it's because it's filtered. It's much better,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another one that I use on that same note in mixing hydroponic solution is my Lipton iced tea gallon jug.
Ooh.
That doesn't have tea in it anymore, but I use it for my LECA nutrient solution. And I was mixing it the other day, and I was like, I think it might be time to switch out this tea gallon because it's been through the ringer. Like, it has like solution rings around the inside of it. But when I was writing that down as a favorite plant accessory, I wanted to actually ask you, Adam, if you think it makes a difference to use plastic jugs with hydroponic solution as opposed to like glass, because it's sitting in there for so long. I'm wondering if the plastic is like breaking down or
yeah, I mean, it would be something to look on your plastic to see if it's like BPA free. I don't know if it's going to make that big of an issue. But that's funny you say that, because as a child, I used to buy cereal based on what free toy was inside of it. And as an adult, I like look at the water jugs and be like, which one of these has a good handle? Because like that's what I use it for. So like I've bought like that pH water that's like supposed to be like so good for you, pH 8.5 or whatever, because the jug was just like a good jug to have.
Right.
But yeah, I had some algae issues in my nutrient solution in my Super Thrive jug. So I bought jugs that were opaque, but they're not opaque enough. Like I was hoping that they would just be like light blocking.
Yeah.
Because I think you're going to have issues with plastic regardless, with algae possibly growing. Anything the sun can touch will grow some algae, you know?
So I fill it up and then I put it in, like I have those, I have bins, like fabric bin drawers, and I stick it in one of those. So it's literally,
that's good.
It's in darkness all the time unless I'm using it. So I have a feeling that's maybe
darkness,
why.
my old friend.
I think that's probably why I haven't had many issues, because I've always kind of done that.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. That's a good point, to get something more opaque, or maybe something that's just fully labeled.
I mean, or do what you do. I mean, putting it in the dark is the best thing.
Right. Mm-hmm. What about you, Becky? Number 2.
Let's see, number 2, plant Velcro. Can I say that?
Oh, plant braces?
Yes.
Yep. I've been doing a lot of plant bracing lately. If you saw one of my most recent plant tour videos, I was basically doing a makeover because you guys remember that big philodendron in the woman's house that we saw?
Yes.
Well, I now own it. She contacted me like, I don't know, a couple weeks after that, and she's like, hey, so are you ready?
Because I want to get it the hell out of my house.
Yeah, so basically she was saying like, well, the plant was her son's, and her son is no longer with us, and so it's just a really big plant, and she just needed to get rid of it to get it into a good home. So she offered it to me. She just said, hey, make a donation to a charity that you care about, and that'll be payment. And so that's what I did. And then it sat outside for a while because in the car, it was in the back of the truck, and it just did not handle the wind very well.
That.
Yeah. The wind like really pushed it over because I had to drive on the highway. So it just wasn't very happy with me. So I kind of just like left it outside to adjust. Plus it was like way too big to come into my house because it definitely would have touched another plant, which is like big no. As much as I think this woman takes care of the plant, I don't know what sort of pests might be on it. You know, I don't want to take any risks here. So I just left it outside, and it rained a few times. I didn't know the pot didn't have drainage. So I don't know if the rot was already there or it got exacerbated with the situation. In any case, there was a lot of rot, and the plant was not standing up yet. Because typically plants will stand up again eventually after they've been like thrown around by the wind, but it takes a bit. So Anyway.
That was pretty top heavy too, though. Like, the leaves are giant.
Yeah. And I remember, like, even, my gosh, gnats. Anyway. Sorry, I'm killing fungus gnats as I'm saying all of this. Okay, so point is, I had to use plant braces to have it stick up straight, so I wasn't laying on the ground. All the leaves were not on the ground, so I repotted it. I got these like little, I don't even know what they would be, like cedars. They weren't even cedars, just like little wood stakes from the garden center, little square stakes with a pointy bottom. And I would never consider buying those for houseplants, but they're perfect, like way better than a moss pole, if I might say so myself. And there's also like $5 for 4 of them or 5 of them, I don't remember. So anyway, lots cheaper, less effort. And I used macrame rope because I couldn't find my plant Velcro, but that worked out fine too. But in a situation where you're wanting a plant to stand up, just use plant Velcro because and actually Adam showed me this, the plant Velcro, because it's just like so much more gentle. It's like a gentle plant tie because, I don't know, when you have a lot of bigger plants, you need to contain them or else they will take over your house because that's what they do. Mm-hmm. So you have to tether them to things, and it's just a really gentle way to do it without cutting into the stems. So that's all.
Yeah.
And it's reusable.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, which is really nice. I'm pretty sure I purchased my plant Velcro from Adam's Amazon store.
Yeah,
so
me
if
too.
you're interested, head over there.
Yeah.
It's so versatile too, because like now with packing for this trip. Are you okay? That was a very scared face.
Oh. I'm so sorry.
You jumped
I'm so
so
sorry.
Daniel thought the dogs were outside, so I heard the dogs barking, and then I saw a man running, and I got really scared. I thought that I was about to die.
I saw him run past. I saw him run down the stairs.
Very scared face.
Like, honestly, if Daniel isn't ruining the podcast, is it really an episode of Potted Together? Like, and it's always while Adam is speaking that you do this shit, and you don't even know. But every single right, Adam. It's always when you're talking, he does some random shit, and it like freaks me out.
It's okay.
Please continue.
I was just gonna say it's super versatile because I use it to wrap cords too. I mean, it's Velcro, so like you can buy specific cord wraps for like cables and stuff, but those are like $10 for like a pack of 8, where you can just like cut your Velcro, your plant Velcro, and like wrap your cables, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've only ever bought one spool because I'm constantly reusing it for different plants.
Yeah, same. I was about to say I've only ever purchased it one time, probably 2 years ago.
That's what I use to like wrap my plants to my cabinet because I don't want to put supports in them. So it's just like, well, this cabinet or this shelf, pole is already here. I'll just attach it to that.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Would we consider like Super Thrive an accessory?
Yeah.
That's not really is it? Okay, and actually no, I'm just going to cancel that. We're going to go to another one. A good pair of shears.
Damn it, that was my next one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, plant Velcro was going to be mine, so I guess we're all just stealing everybody's.
Oh, we must be friends.
But, yeah. I bought like a really sharp, nice pair of smaller shears, for like propagating Hoya and such, not like big philodendron that have very thick trunks or whatever, stems, but honestly, like I use them all the time for everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cutting the Velcro that I use, cutting the plants. Yeah. Yeah,
that's definitely key because you're constantly trimming your plants and you're cutting off dead foliage or you're ripping it off like I did this morning. But Eli from Plantfolio actually sent me an amazing pair of shears. I don't know if he's going to sell them or if he does sell them. I'll have to look into that. But they are heavy duty. I unpacked them the other day because I haven't been using my Plantfolio because it's been like packed in a box. And I just finally unpacked it and I unpacked the shears and I was like, feel how heavy these are. And I passed them to Jay and he's like, these are like legit. Like you're a real actual plant parent with these shears. I was like, I know.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
But remember, ladies and gentlemen, to disinfect them between every cutting.
Every single one.
Well,
like we do.
I
Every
don't disinfect
plant?
it. Like if I take a Hoya vine and I cut it to multiples, I don't disinfect between each cut. But between plants, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be completely honest and say that I try, but I don't always.
I'm in the same boat.
I'm very lazy.
Yeah.
But I do keep a bottle of alcohol nearby for when I'm not lazy and I try. Okay, now I have to think of a third one.
I know.
So-
I'm like, oh God, what can I say that I haven't said a million other times?
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'll leave it at that.
Grow lights. We all have the same grow lights. They're great.
Oh, yeah.
So
grow lights are
that would
Do we
be-
all have the same ones?
Yeah.
Becca, you have the same ones we have? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
they're in my greenhouse cabinet. The greenhouse cabinet is a great tool if you can get your hands on one. 10 out of 10 recommend. Although my Hoyas, I have 3 Hoyas in there right now. 2 of them have done a lot. The other one still hasn't done anything. And I'm like, what's going on? What's
Are
wrong
you
with
talking
you?
about your IKEA Mills bow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my Mills bow. But
Yeah.
Those lights are probably the best money I've ever spent on a plant accessory. And I think I'm going to get another set this fall for the winter, just for some extra light, because the IKEA, what's the name of the shelf we use, Adam?
Vitsu?
Yeah, it's, it's
I
hard to
don't
pronounce. But anyway, it's from IKEA as well. It's got the glass shelves. A lot of people use it. But there's a lot of room. There's room under there for like 2 sets. Because you only have 1 set, right? On each shelf?
I have 2 on each shelf.
Like, yeah, me too. Okay,
2
so I'm
lights.
thinking of putting 4 on
Yeah.
each shelf. And I think that would really benefit them in the winter time.
Yeah.
So, but that's like the best.
Ooh, I thought about another one. Smart plugs.
Oh, I need to get on that game, like for real.
I just
Although
bought more.
my mom's pretty good with turning them on at night, better than I am.
Yeah, she does not let you keep things on in that house.
No.
But I bought extra smart plugs because a couple of my grow lights weren't connected to one. Only one set was, and I was like, okay, we're gonna be on vacation. I need to make sure that my grow lights are on for 16 hours, and so I bought more. And so you can set a timer on them. It's just like it's so easy.
Yeah.
Did you ever look up, Becca? Because remember we were talking about this before, and you asked if there was like a multiple socket.
yeah, like a power strip where you could control each individual plug.
Yeah.
I didn't look into that, and I still haven't looked into
Yeah.
it. But what I do
Life.
is like every night I'll just turn off the whole cabinet, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's not the best. I'd love for the fans to be going all the time, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
Good reminder though.
Work smarter, not harder. Like that's a motto to live by. So
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm criticizing anything that you guys are doing, that I'm doing, or the listeners are doing, but it's just kind of nice to just be like, set a timer and just don't even think about it,
Right.
Yeah. Because it's easy to forget about it.
Right.
Like it really is, especially in my new house. We put them on at we leave them on at night because they're in the kitchen and it's bright in the kitchen. So it's kind of too bright just to have them on all day with people sitting in there. Mm-hmm. So we turn them on at like 5 o'clock and then we'll turn them off at like 9 a.m. ish. They could probably use a little bit more time, but so they're on all night instead of during the day because the kitchen gets a good amount of light when it's not ridiculously cloudy like it is now. During the day, but that's going to change in the winter,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that you had them on at night. That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
but only because we're not in there
Yeah.
at night.
I know that plants do have like a circadian rhythm, which is like times of rest and times of growth. And I wonder, not that I know, but if someone knows, like, I wonder if that's like an issue.
Like turning them on at night instead of having them on during the day. Yeah, it could very well be. Like, one could be better than the other for them, for sure. I'm not sure, though. I do know that my Hoya are blooming like crazy right now.
Ooh.
I have never had blooms like this on my Hoya.
And the Finlaysonia, I love those ones because they're like, it's like a circle of blooms.
Yeah, so it's pretty now, and they're not even opened yet. I'm so excited. And my Rebecca's blooming with mealybugs. I mean, go figure. She's gonna do it all.
Can't keep a good woman down.
Nope, you can't. She's living her best life.
She's doing her very best.
Yeah.
She's dirty and pretty, you know? but yeah, I mean, for the most part, like, all my plants are growing really well. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not going to fix something if it's not broken.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. My Thai is putting out a new leaf right now, which is exciting because it hasn't done that since the leaf that it put out last October. So it's been almost a year.
Damn.
Can I say that? I mean, it's about to be August.
Yeah.
So, well, it's only July 15th when we're recording this. But, hey, it's been like, I don't know, 11 months. What, like 9 months? So,
yeah.
I'm pretty excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be a biggie as well. So, I'm stoked.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'd like to see that plant do some work because, like, my Albo Monstera is, like, always busy. But that one, it just never, I don't know why it's so slow. I can't even say it's a variegated Monstera thing because my Albo grows really fast.
Yeah. You know, Mai Tai
It was
doesn't
a really
put
good
out...
drink.
It doesn't. Mai Tai. It doesn't put out leaves very fast. I mean, it's put out some good leaves, and I'm happy how it's grown. But like a lot of my other philodendrons, even though I know it's not a philodendron, but like as soon as a new leaf opens up, like you can see the next one there ready to go.
Yeah.
And not with my Thai. Like it maybe puts out like a leaf once every like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah. And like they're
That's how mine is, though, too.
maybe they're just like really working. Like I don't really know. Because wait, Thai constellation is like a genetically engineered plant, right? Is that?
Yeah.
So like I would think that it would move faster then because of that.
Right.
But it doesn't. But the Albo is not genetically engineered and found in nature. Correct?
Yeah. I think it's a mutation.
Yeah. But like a naturally occurring mutation because I've seen them like
Yeah,
but the Thai constellation is not. It's just so weird.
Yeah, that is kind of strange.
Yeah, and I
when you think about it.
don't know if my Albo is just a one-off because I feel like variegated plants typically don't grow that fast for me.
yeah.
So maybe she's just a weirdo. I don't know.
Maybe your Thai heard that Costa Farms was releasing their ties into the stores and was like, well, shit, I better show up or she's going to get rid of me.
Oh, that's...
Listen, Adam, don't promote that shit on our channel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That's something to talk about because I actually heard that Thai Costa Farms, like, I think that somebody posted this, like, basically Costa Farms is going to release them in slow batches, like only a little bit at a time, but not because they don't have enough, but because they want to keep the hype and they don't want it to like saturate the market and have too many available.
I think they're selling them for $99.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw somebody said that their Kroger had them for $99. But they have
Also, to Becca.
Oh, sorry, what?
No, go ahead. Sorry, I was interrupting.
Oh, no, it's okay. I was going to say, to my knowledge, they have like a lot. Like, I don't want to quantify it and have it wrong, but I'm thinking like well over thousands, like maybe like quadruple digit.
Yeah.
Or not a million. I don't know what quadruple digit.
Because they've been working on this for years.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. What I was going to say is there was within the last month that we've not been here, there's a very big plant group that some of the moderators decided to ban and stop all sales of the Monstera obliqua because prices were going too low and they just didn't want to let it drop. So they banned all sales on their page so the demand would increase. And I'm like, okay, this makes zero freaking sense, because at the same time, most of us plant people are like, I wish prices weren't so high. And everyone's like, it's supply and demand, which it is. But then you have people who are like, okay, prices are coming down. And they're like, well, we don't want that to happen, so we're going to stop the supply. It's just like, quit it.
Yeah.
Monstera obliqua has always been freaking ridiculous. Like, in my eyes, the price point, for one, it's not even a cute plant, guys. Like, can we agree that it's kind of ugly?
Yeah, I don't think it's very cute.
It looks almost like the Adansonii. Very hard to tell the difference.
Put it in a blender.
Honestly, if you're new.
It's an Adansonii that's seen some shit.
I mean, it just looks run the fuck down. Exactly. That's exactly it. Like, she's holy, but not in a good way. You know what I mean? I don't know. I saw a big one in the San Diego Botanical Garden. But again, I was like, oh, that's really cool. But it was also like, it's kind of ugly too. Like, I don't think I would want that. Just like Becca's Adansonii tree, beautiful. If that was like a tree of obliqua, I'd be like, that tree looks like some spirits come out of it at night and like haunt your dreams. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah.
I just don't. I've never liked the look of it. And then when the price point hit, I was like, okay, this is absolutely ridiculous.
No. You know another plant that I think is like pretty overrated that's like hella expensive? The variegated Adansonii.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that cool.
Kind of looks like an obliqua.
Yeah, I just...
No.
Yeah, I know.
I tend to not think it's that cool. Like, hey. If I had the opportunity to buy one for like a good price, I might. I'm not going to say I'll never own one, but at the same time, I'm never going to buy one at the price point they're currently being sold at. I'll say that for sure. But like...
Yeah.
I just don't think it's that special. It looks kind of weird to me. Like, there's also like the variegated tetrasperma. Like, there's like a minty version of that one, which I think is amazing. I would, if I had access to that, I would probably buy it. But
I was just going to say, I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, I like that one.
It's pretty. It's cute.
I feel like it's harder to come by as well. Yeah. But anyway, the variegated Adansonii, I just see like way too many people reporting that it just started putting out all white leaves and it just died, So I don't know. It just seems super unstable, and like I don't think it's very cute. This would be an episode in itself, like just bashing on plants that people are obsessed with.
I don't know. I don't know how we got on this topic, but
the variegated Adansonii. So within they have those big sectoral variegations. It just looks like a bird shit on a regular Adansonii. Like a seagull just like flew over and was like, "Caca!"
Yeah.
Like, not cute.
Actually, wait, listen to this. I was thinking of pranking people, but I think it would go badly and it would make me look bad. But wouldn't it be so funny? Because like a bird actually did shit on my Monstera deliciosa.
Oh, yeah, it did.
So I was thinking about taking photos of it and being like, rare.
You should. Just be like, sport variegation on my green Monstera.
You got to do it before this episode comes out.
I'll cut it and send it to the highest bidder. Like, what if I posted that? Do you think people would know I was kidding, or do you think they'd like? I don't want to be canceled.
Like your old Becca posts. That shit had people spooked.
Oh my god!
I showed that to Jay, and he was like, you could tell like he was looking at it like he didn't want to be mean, but he was like,
I did the same thing though. Becca? I was scrolling through my feed and I was like, oh, that's not a flattering picture. and then I was like staring at it and I was like, oh.
Listen, that was the best way to get engagement. I didn't even think about it when I posted. Like, I was laughing so hard. I thought it was so funny. I was like, what if I just posted this out of context? Like, didn't even mention the fact that there's an old filter on it. So I did.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I did. And like a bunch of people were like, "Are you gonna acknowledge this? Like, what's going on? Like, are you okay?" Like, people were like scared. And like a bunch of people thought it like was my mom. I'm like, oh, I wish my mom and I looked that much alike, but no. Anyway, I still haven't acknowledged it. I just never said anything. I just posted it. Okay, but that picture got like quadruple the engagement that I normally get, and I like got a lot of followers. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post an old picture of myself as soon as we get off the podcast. No, I saw that and I read the caption and I was like, this is fucking genius and hilarious.
I know.
And Daniel's a lucky man.
I mean, yeah, if that's true, you're going to age well. Because, like, there was, like, a moment where I was like, this looks like Becca, but then it didn't look like Becca.
Mm-hmm. It just looks like wrinkly Becca.
Yeah.
I hope that's what I look like, because she looks very comforting, and I'd love to, like, give her a hug.
Yeah.
She seems like she goes by, like, Nana. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to my Nana's house. Oh, it's so cute.
I mean, and she definitely seems like she bakes, like, fresh apple pies, which you already do. So, like...
That is me.
Yeah.
I do be baking apple pies.
All right, guys, we got to shut this shit down.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in this week for another episode of Potted Together. If you're not already, be sure to follow us over on the Instagrams at Potted Together and YouTube.
Which we put out Plant Pictionary 2. If you haven't seen that yet, it was really fun. We played it while we were together.
So fun.
Some of us draw better than others.
Listen,
Nicole.
Okay? Art class wasn't my thing in school.
Did you see, did Steve tag you in his story post where he like took like a Target ad?
Oh my God, he did.
He asked me, he's like, do you think she'd get mad if I post this? I was like, no, she would love that.
That was hilarious. I'm going to have to... Wait, did I repost it? I thought I reposted it on Potted Together. I don't know if I did. If I didn't, it'll be up there this week. It was freaking hilarious. Mm-hmm. But I think we're going to have to do a Pictionary 3. Steve, if you're listening, I think it's time to start working on that, friend. Okay, so let's knock that out and get that over to us. Steve, yeah, I have killed that over on Instagram, is a good friend of ours, and he's the one that creates these Plant Pictionary games. We don't do it ourselves.
No, yeah. And they're great.
We just play the game, but they're great, and he's great. So, a little shout out to Steve. But yeah, so go watch that if you haven't already, because it is very funny. And follow us all individually on Instagram at De La Plants, at Not Dude, at My Clean News. I can't remember our
I was like,
names.
did you forget for a second?
I did. And then also...
She always wants to call you at Becca De La Plants, and always forgets that it's just De La Plants.
Oh, yes.
Me too. But on YouTube, our YouTube channels, go follow Becca De La Plants on YouTube.
Yes.
Right?
My Clean Leaves, YouTube. And
Not
Not Dude, and Waypoint Travelers.
Yes!
Waypoint Explorers.
Oh,
yeah.
no. Oh, no. I've done it.
Waypoint _Explorers.
Okay, as I said that, I was like, it'd be embarrassing if I said the wrong name. And then I did.
No, that's okay.
Like, what if it was like Wayward
It's also
Explorers
new.
and I said Waypoint? Okay, anyway. I'm just excited to see your videos. You should have one up by now, right? By the time they see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I'm hoping.
Okay.
My Disney trip. Yeah, but the Instagram also is where I'm going to be posting like stories about Disney, so I'm not probably going to do that on my plant one.
Yes.
Cool. And then yeah, just all the social medias, just follow us, send us some feedback, leave us a review on whatever podcast player you're listening on, because it helps us get into the right people's ears. And I just still can't believe that we're in season 3. I still can't believe it.
It's very exciting.
It's
3
really exciting.
freaking seasons. Yeah, it is very exciting.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Gear Patrol calls their new dive watch the best sub-$500 dive watch. Full stop. Men's Health rated them as the most stylish solar watch in the game. Who are we talking about? it's movement. They're leveling up your gift giving with the sleekest watches you can buy and the biggest deals of the season. Shop 30 to 50% off Movement's innovative California clean watches, jewelry, and accessories with fast free shipping and returns now at MVMT.com. That's MVMT.com.